welcome to Forage Drops. This is Lilian Silva, I'm the Forage specialist for Clemson Universe, and today I'll be talking about interpreting the Forage's analysis report that we receive after we send some material for analysis in the lab. So let's get started. So when we're talking about the Forage's analysis that we get from the lab when we send material for analysis, we have basically two columns, one that's gonna have the results on a dry matter basis and another as basis. Generally, the information about forage is quality that you're going to be receiving and reading and interpreting in the forage's analysis report is going to help us to understand if we need to and how much of each different nutrients when we're trying to balance a ratio for a given livestock species and livestock category as well. And we will have to understand what those parameters mean so we can really make sure that we're going to be properly adjusting that ratio and the supplementation that we're going to be giving to the animals. So some of the general parameters, and I know this is a lot of information, so you really need to understand just the basic concepts that we're going to have here. So if you have, if we're going to be looking at hay samples, we need to understand that we're going to be looking at the different dry matter percentage for that material versus a silage or a baleage material, just because we are going to be baling those materials in different periods of time, as well as if we were to go now and collect a forage sample on a pasture that is being managed under grazing, there will be different dry matter as well. Than the hay sample, for example. And we need to understand what dry matter represents, just because we're going to be basing how much the animal eats per day or per period on a dry matter basis. So this is gonna be the information that we need to, including our calculations to adjust how much they need of each the supplements or the forages as well, to balance their needs. Then we come to crude protein, and we will have different requirements for different animal species and categories. Generally, most animals will be needing around the 12–15%, or even lower to some cases. For example, when you have a dry cow, you might be needing less than that. But then you can also have animals that will be requiring that 15–18% of crude protein on a daily basis, because they are growing, lactating, or some other higher needs that they may have. And we need to balance the crude protein and the energy that they're going to be receiving as well. Then you're going to have digestibility information that's just tell you how much of that forage will be digestible. This is an estimate, actually, right? So it will just give you an estimate how much that forage will be digestible by the animal. Then we do have a couple of fiber fractions that will be included as an estimates in the report as well. One will be for the larger part of the fiber fraction, fiber portion, which will include several compounds. This is the NGF, and will give us an idea of the intake of the animals for that given type of forage or feed. So as NGF concentration increases, we will usually see a decrease on intake, just because that material is not going digestible for that animal as compared to other options of feed. Then for hay, it's really common to address the TDN and the RFQ information values on the forage analysis, especially the RFQ, just because we can compare different forages, different type of hay samples across each other based on this general value. And in general, we will be able to categorize them as per sort of like per quality to some extent, based on the range that they are going to fall into. And this is the information here on this table that's useful to use that. So we do have an example from a lab in the Southeast for a hay that was a grass legume mixture. And this is just an example where you can look at it and understand what this show us in terms of the crude protein information values and everything else that we just talked about. And also, as you can see, we are going to have the energy values here and some other information as well, including the TDN on this corner here, and then the RFQ on top here, as I mentioned before. This is really general, and I understand there's a lot of information. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to this email on the screen, and we can also think about deeper this concept through other resources. I will be glad to share those resources with you. And if you'd like, please check the Facebook and YouTube channels for the Forage Drops program. And for more information, livestock and forage topics as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Appreciate you checking out this. And as I mentioned last week, we will have one more video following this one. So please feel free to check it out next week for the third part of this forage quality series.